There comes a moment in every era, in every empire, where the architect is questioned. Where the builder of legacies, the mind behind the magic, the orchestrator of moments is no longer cheered, but challenged. For WWE, that moment has arrived in 2025. And the man in the spotlight, the man at the center of both praise and fire, is Triple H. Once the King of Kings in the ring, now the mastermind behind the curtain, Paul Levesque took the reins of WWE's creative ship and set it sailing into a new era. And at first, the world cheered. Fans felt the winds of change. Stars rose, matches thrilled, storylines evolved with the kind of nuance and long-term vision only a seasoned general could provide. But now, the waters are turbulent. The fanbase is restless. The boos aren't just for the villains in the ring. They're echoing for the man behind the scripts. The catalyst. WrestleMania 41. Jey Uso, a man whose rise captivated millions, whose victory at the grandest stage of them all was hailed as the birth of a new face of WWE, stripped of the World Heavyweight Championship in just 51 days. It stung. The chants of, "Yeet," still echoed in arenas when fans learned his reign was over. And they needed someone to blame. Triple H became the lightning rod. And then came the moment. The one that made the wrestling world erupt. Cody Rhodes. The American Nightmare. The man who finished his story at WrestleMania 40, only to have it ripped away 1 year later. Defeated, not by Roman Reigns, but by John Cena, the veteran, the icon, the heel. Cena stood tall with the undisputed WWE Championship, while Cody lay broken, again. The fans were in disbelief. And once again, the arrows flew toward Triple H. Bad booking, out of touch, ruining momentum. The noise has been deafening. But if there's one thing Triple H has proven across his 30-year career, it's that he doesn't crack under pressure. He doesn't respond with desperate justifications. He doesn't chase approval. He plans. He plots. He evolves. Because the game was never built for instant gratification. He was built for the long haul. He endured jeers when evolution dominated. He stood tall through the authorities' hate. He survived the rise of Cena, the chaos of Punk, and the takeover of Roman. He knows storytelling is a marathon, not a moment. And right before SmackDown rolls into the Van Andel Arena in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Triple H has spoken. Not in words, but in message. On Instagram. One post. One caption. Simple. Bold. Direct. A reminder. He's still in control. He's still playing the game. This wasn't a press release. It wasn't a corporate defense. It was a signal. To the critics. To the fans. To the doubters, that the story is still being written. That the chessboard is far from settled. That chaos is part of the plan. Because sometimes in WWE, you need heartbreak before redemption. You need shock before triumph. You need to break your heroes, to make them legendary. Jey Uso's fall. It may just be the beginning of something greater. Cody Rhodes' nightmare. It may be setting the stage for a redemption arc so powerful it burns itself into the annals of WrestleMania history. Triple H isn't here for momentary applause. He's here for legacy. For arcs that unfold over years. For rivalries that etch themselves into memory. And yes, for decisions that sting in the short term, but explode into brilliance when the timing is right. He doesn't need validation. He doesn't chase headlines. He lets the product speak. And what it's saying is this. The game is still being played. The story is still being told. The next twist is always just around the corner. And if history tells us anything, it's that when Triple H goes silent, you'd better watch what happens next. Because that silence is the sound before the storm. The kind of storm that reshapes titles. That creates icons. That makes moments. So go ahead, chant. Debate. Doubt. But don't underestimate him. He's not finished. He's focused. And this era, this Hunter era, it's far from over. The blueprint has already been drawn. Now, it's time to execute. Because when you're the game, you don't play catch-up. You make the rules.